Welcome to my first vegetable garden. This video is all about really setting up your first grow light area. This one's pretty big, I'll break it down for you, but I'm going to go over all the basic things you need to really start seeds indoors, and I'm going to kind of highlight what I'm growing right now. Again, this is just an overview. Everything that you see here you can probably find at my Amazon shop. I will put a link in the video description. Growing seeds indoors, starting your own transplants is a great way to save money. Transplants nowadays easily cost $3, $4, $5 a plant. Very quickly, you can make your money back on all of the cost that you need to buy these, different supplies. Again, $4 or $5 a plant is kind of expensive. You can grow your own transplants for really pennies a plant. The first thing I want to talk about as new gardeners, I don't want you to get overwhelmed thinking you have to buy something this big, or when we get out into the garden, you have to have a garden as large as mine. You don't. You can start with something small. First thing that you're going to need is a shelving unit of some size, wherever it's going to fit in your house. Perfect. I recommend the metal shelf. I got this, I think, at Lowe's years back. I really like the design. You can also find this at my Amazon store. Because you're going to be growing in different ways. Like for instance, I'm growing for harvest up here, and the space here really isn't big enough. With the shelf, I could lower this bottom rack down to about here and create different gaps for different growing purposes, which, I've had this for I think 5 years. And it just dawned on me when I was shooting this video that I should drop this down some so that I have more growing space. Anyway, I do recommend this because you can set this up for what I just explained. You want a shelf that's 4 feet wide or 4 feet long, about 18 to 20 inches wide, so it supports these flats or whatever you're growing in. And the height for this is about, I think it's almost 6 feet. About 4 feet long, 18, 20 inches depth, perfect for really growing whatever you need to grow. When you're going to be using a heat mat, you can see one that's right down there. With the metal, sometimes the heat from the heat mat gets pulled away, the way the warmth just gets pulled away by the metal. Stick a piece of cardboard under there. That helps insulate the heating mat so that the heat goes to your plants. Just a side tip. Next thing is really the lighting. And you're deciding, you can get these just in 1, 2, 3 shelves, and it could sit anywhere in your house. It's really up to you how you want to grow. For the lights, you're going to use I've talked about this plenty of times, have lots of videos on it, but real quick, you're going to want the 4-foot white LED shop lights. And you can get these, prices range from used to be 18, maybe more like $25 to $45, depending on how bright they are and some different ratings. If you want to buy full spectrum grow lights, they're going to cost you more money. They are more effective, but they can cost you 3, 4, 5 times as much. These are just white LED shop lights. You want a lumens value, that's brightness. And yes, people say lumens are for humans. It's true. Brightness is more about, the value for us. But with the brighter light, you get better coverage for the plants and they grow better. So my point being is you're going to hear lux value, par value, all kinds of different values for growing indoors. The white LED lights don't carry those values that are there, but they're not on a box because they're for people. You want 5,000 lumens, the brightness or higher, and you want 5,000 Kelvin or higher. 5,000 Kelvin and higher mimics daylight. That gives you the full spectrum, just about, for the plants to grow. And I like showing this with plants in there. These are tomato plants. I'll be doing a video on this too. They look wonderful. They're already forming tomatoes, nice dark green, and these are just basic white LED shop lights. You can get this guy. It's 4 lights. It's not quite as wide coverage with 2 spaced here. That's what I wanted to talk about. Space the lights out to the left, out to the right, just gives some better coverage for your seed starts. When you're growing plants for sort of production indoors, I really like this light. It's nice and bright. I think it's 7,500 lumens. Anyway, it's enough for the plants that you see right there. White LED shop lights, 5,000 lumens or higher, 5,000 Kelvin or higher. Hooked a couple of lights into my Amazon shop too. And you can find some of the lights now have 10,000 lumens, 6,100 Kelvin. They work really, really well. White LED shop lights are not specialized grow lights, but they are really, really effective. So we have shelving, lights, and you're going to need something to grow in. All these seed starting flats and trays and stuff I sell at my seed and garden shop, therustedgarden.com. You can reuse yogurt containers, you can cut water bottles, you can use really anything to grow in. I'm growing in plastic shoe boxes. Notice that they sit in foil trays. Everything should be bottom watered, and I think I just watered these, which means is you fill the bottom reservoir up with water, you drop your plants in, the water wicks up. It's a nice, easy way to manage watering a lot of plants rather than getting a watering can and trying to water all this stuff. You're gonna have to pull the tray out and it becomes a mess. You would just pop this up, soak up water through the holes, fill up the tray, drop it in, you wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever water is not absorbed, you dump it out. With experience, you get pretty good at it, and really there's no water left behind. You can see stuff is just starting to germinate under here. So you're gonna need your seed starting containers, your flats, your cells, and just set up, how you basically wanna grow. You're gonna need a basic seed starting mix. Talked about this before. I use Jiffy Mix. Whatever product you buy, you wanna add boiling water to it to saturate it, to kill off any potential fungus gnat eggs. Peat moss-based products bring in fungus gnats. So we've got the mix, the containers, the lights, the shelving, and you're gonna need to manage the lights. So when you're buying the white LEDs, make sure they have cords. The longer the cord, the better. Most of them have that nowadays. And you're gonna need some extension cords, for everything to plug in. And it's hard to see in there, but I do have a timer. You want a timer because you're gonna set your lights on for 16 hours on, 8 hours dark for 24 hours. 16 hours on. You really want the lights you really want the plants growing into a lot of light. As the plants get bigger, you can reduce the amount of light that's on. You can go to 14 hours on. What does that leave? 10 hours off. But I recommend timer, some extension cords, makes your life so much easier. You can just let the plants do their thing. If, for instance, you're not using a timer and you forget to turn the lights on and that's when the plants germinate, the plants get all messed up. So again, you want your lights to be on for the 16 hours, off for 8 hours. Best way to do it if you're just getting started for the first time. You're gonna have to feed, of course, and water your plants, but you're gonna have to feed your plants as they grow. And the easiest way to do that, a gallon of water. This is my container filled with a gallon of water, a teaspoon of the chemical type fertilizers. You can use organic if you want. I find the chemical types work best indoors. When my plants get outside, I go back to my organic ways. You're gonna be feeding these when they're small, something like this, after the first 10 days of growth, maybe once every 7 to 10 days. As they get bigger, you're gonna fertilize them more often with the water. And when they're this size, they get diluted fertilizer, 1 teaspoon in a gallon, just about every time I water them. You always want to feed your plants slow and low. Please subscribe and follow me. I'll be talking more in depth about each of these things that I'm covering. But to get started, you're going to need seed starting mix, containers, a shelf, lights, and some fertilizer. And those things will get you started growing, and pick whatever size you want. I don't recommend starting big. I really think something like this, 2 lights and 4 flats. These flats are small cells. That means there's 72 in each of them. That's 72, 144 plants, 288 plants if you use this size. You can grow in something larger if you want bigger plants. All that stuff I will teach you. Here are some bigger cells. The bigger the cell, the longer the plant can stay in there. The bigger the root size gets, I think the stronger the plant. That's what you need to get started. If you have questions, please leave your questions in the comments. And I just want to show you what's going on here so you just have some ideas. So sitting up here, this light warms up, not crazily warm, maybe 75 degrees, maybe 80 degrees. I've got my ginger starting in there. Ginger likes a good 10 months growing time. It's too cold for that here in Maryland, so I grow it indoors for 2 months or 3 months. I'm growing Tiny Tim tomatoes to full size. Take a look at those beauties. We got lettuce, and it's time to harvest that. I might do a little harvesting video. It's getting a little bit beat up. Spinach I've been eating already. I've got different flowers down here that have been growing for several weeks. They will get potted up and moved to different places. As we come down further, these are more for videos, so it's too early to grow peppers and stuff like that. But I've got some kale, some spinach, got peas that I'm growing right there. I probably won't get peas. They take a long time, but you can break off the tendrils and eat those. If you watched the last video I did, I showed you how to plant up your first seed starts, which were onions. They're really easy. They've not sprouted yet. I think it's been about 7 days. In the next 5-7 days, they should sprout. When your onions sprout, they're going to look something like this. You know, if you want to follow me this season on my first vegetable garden, I will give you updates on everything we talk about. Here's some more lettuce that's doing really well. It's time to eat all of that. Getting some tomatoes and peppers going for future videos. It's a little bit early for them, but you get the idea. I mean, you can set up your grow light station really however you want and grow just about anything. And I just actually, this rack came out this way towards me, and it was over here, and when you came in through the door, it was kind of in the way. So I just decided to spin it, put it by the window. It'll get additional light from the window, but it's going to need the grow lights to really survive. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my Amazon shop in the linked video description. I'll put the link down there. You can find all these different products. I really recommend growing seeds indoors, growing your own transplants. It's not as hard as you think, and I'll be glad to teach you, help you along in your garden journey. Again, thanks so much for watching.